Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today we're heading north, way up into northern Ontario.
Right. A vast, rugged place.
And it was profoundly shaped by the railway. So our mission today, we're doing a deep dive into the legacy surrounding the McKee name up there, exploring its connections to, well, the railway town of Capriole, and maybe even its echoes in those ghost towns, Selwood and Milnet.
Yeah.
This isn't just about, one specific family tree. It's about trying to grasp the sheer dedication, the really hard work that defined that whole era.
And look, this is where it gets fascinating because McKee, it's actually a pretty common name across Ontario.
Right.
So our focus isn't just tracing one single line. It's more about how this name, even when direct links are a bit fuzzy, becomes this kind of symbol.
A symbol for what exactly?
For the collective grit, really, the innovation, the often unseen efforts of so many people who built that region. The name almost embodies the era itself.
Okay, I like that. So let's unpack the incredible efforts tied to that McKee name. Maybe start with the pioneers.
Good place to start.
We know McKees were spread out, like the farming McKees down in, say, Thames Center or Perth County. Real pioneers, putting in huge labor, but maybe far from these railway hubs.
Exactly. But what's really compelling, I think, are the Donegal McKees up in McCarr Township, Andrew and Janet McKee.
Okay.
Their story, it just paints such a vivid picture of that intense pioneer work. I mean, imagine clearing virgin forest by hand.
Wow.
Building a log cabin, then adding a frame extension around 1902, 1903.
Okay.
And then, get this, a massive bank barn, that kind of built into a hill.
Oh, right. Easier loading.
Exactly. Built in 1904-05 through community barn raisings. Real backbone stuff.
That communal effort, amazing.
Yeah, but here's the interesting part. Despite all that hard work, their settlement, it got bypassed by the main railway lines going towards Capriole. So their focus stayed squarely on homesteading, on farming.
Huh. So that barn raising thing, that community cooperation, it really underlines that collective spirit you mentioned.
It does.
So, okay, with those pioneer McKees setting a baseline, let's pivot to Capriole itself, a town just absolutely forged by the railway.
Completely. Its whole reason for being, its economy, was tied to the Canadian Northern Railway CNR back then.
Which became Canadian National, CNR.
Right. And you had figures like Frank Denny, this entrepreneur. He overheard engineers talking about a junction back in 1912, bought 300 acres of land.
Just like that.
Pretty much. Then negotiated to make Capriole a permanent divisional point. Station, shops, big train yard, the whole deal.
That really shows how central the railway was.
Oh, totally pervasive. Think about Harold Prescott. He started as a locomotive fireman, became mayor eventually.
Right, and he helped get that old steam engine, CN6077, for the town museum.
Exactly. And then there were all the railway unions active in the 20s and 30s. Engineers, machinists, you name it. It highlights that shared work, that collective effort holding Capriole together.
Okay, collective effort. But what about direct McKee connections to the railway there? I saw something about McKee's Camp. It's still a flag stop for Via Rail's the Canadian service right near Capriole. That name had to come from somewhere. Do we know which McKee?
Well, that's where it gets a bit murky.
Yeah.
The sources don't pinpoint the exact origin of McKee's Camp. It hints at maybe a more spread out legacy,
Okay.
But we do have a very solid, more modern link. Doug McKee. He was a CN welding gang foreman for 32 years.
32 years. Okay, so the name definitely stayed connected to railway work for generations.
It did, and it kind of begs the question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How did McKees, broadly speaking, connect into that wider Northern Ontario industrial scene, especially with all the booms and busts?
Right, the booms and busts. And that leads us straight to those ghost towns, places like Selwood and Milnet.
Exactly. Industrial dreams that shone bright for a while but didn't last.
Tell us about Selwood first.
Selwood was, for a time, a major hub. Iron mining the Moose Mountain Mine and lumbering with the Warren Lumber Company.
Bear operation.
Huge. It even became the northern endpoint for the Canadian Northern Railway by 1908. Daily trains to Toronto. Daily! Wow, what happened?
The mine closed in 1920, and just like that, Selwood's boom was over. Swift decline.
And Milnet. That was Selwood Junction originally.
That's right. It started as a lumber company town on the Vermilion River, built around another CNR station. Quite lively and self-sufficient, apparently, despite being isolated.
Another testament to the people building these places.
Absolutely. But Milnet faded, too. Hit by the Great Depression, and then some mysterious fires.
So, the ghost town story.
Yeah.
But where did the McKees fit in here? Did any live in Selwood or Milnet?
Well, our specific sources don't list a McKee family living right in Selwood or Milnet. But you have to see these towns as part of the bigger regional picture, right?
Okay.
Think about the workers who lost jobs when Selwood's mine closed. Many, maybe 170 of them, ended up moving to Capriol looking for work, often on the railway.
Ah, I see. So they became part of Capriol's workforce. Exactly. So the McKee name, if we see it representing those hardworking families across the region, absolutely would have been caught up in these cycles. They'd feel the ripples, even if they weren't directly on a Selwood payroll. It just shows how interconnected everything was. The mines, the lumber, the railway.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, listening? The McKee name in Northern Ontario, it's not really about chasing one single family line down a rabbit hole.
No, it's much bigger than that. It's a symbol, really.
A testament to this complex mix of pioneer spirit, industrial growth, and maybe above all, that community resilience, the collective effort that built the region.
Yeah, the hard work tied to the McKee name shows up in so many ways.
Yeah.
The back-breaking labor of homesteading, the demanding job of running a railway, being part of those resource industries. It's a legacy of just relentless contribution.
And while we might not have, the specific documents saying that McKee worked on this rail line in 1915 Capriol or lived in Selwood.
Right. Those direct links aren't always clear in the early days from these sources.
It's a collective legacy alongside all the other pioneers and workers. It's still etched right into the landscape up there. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other family names are woven into those unseen efforts that built Northern Ontario?